right, now before we get back into the episode, we've got a big announcement to make. We want to show some love to our first ever sponsor, Mykin. That's spelled M-Y-K-Y-N. Mykin is a high-end luxury eyewear brand focused on quality, craftsmanship, and timeless style. These aren't just glasses, y'all. They're statement pieces. For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see I'm wearing an exclusive pair right now. Look at the style. I love the dark frames. Right now, you can get 25% off when you use our code GoodPeople25 at mykinbrand.com. Again, that's GoodPeople25 at MYKYN brand.com. If you love Song of the Week, do us a favor, grab a pair. GoodPeople25 for 25% off. Big love to Mykin for supporting Song of the Week. Let's get into the episode.
Good people on the quest for good content. Feel like I haven't been on one of these in a while. Hey, good to see y'all. Three-man weave today. David Grunfeld, Jordan Bell, Bill Farrow, back to you with another installment of Song of the Week. Boys, let's just hop into it. How we feeling? How we doing? What we listening to?
Great questions. Number one, I'm doing well, Bill. It's good to see you. It's good to see you, brother. It's been a couple weeks. I don't think we've talked since post Super Bowl, which was fun. That was a fun podcast to do. But yeah, things are well. Well, let me say this. Last time David and I recorded, we were in a stretch of really nice weather. I don't know what it's like in Chicago, but I was literally talking about how happy I was that the weather was nice, the sun was shining. I had seen the goddamn grass for the first time in 6 weeks, and I woke up the other morning to like 6 inches of snow, and I almost shot myself in the face. It's awful. It's awful. I'm so mad that the weather sucks again.
Dave, you're in Southern. Yeah, you're in Southern
Well,
California.
I'm doing great.
I don't want to hear it, Dave.
I
really
great.
don't.
Jordan, my heart goes. I mean, listen, I lots of my coworkers live on the East Coast and Midwest, and genuinely stay safe, everybody, because some of the pictures and videos that I'm seeing are crazy. I mean, like stuff in New York is just like looks like apocalyptic. So everybody, please be safe. But yeah, we're doing great here in California. We're the weather's just fine. But I'm curious because when I lived in Ohio with you guys, bad weather and cold weather made me get into moods for certain type of music, right? Like it definitely impacted
God, are you going
what
to talk
I'd
about the
listen
infamous?
to, right, on a day to day.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I know. I knew you would think I was going there, Bill, but I won't go down that rabbit hole today. I'm just curious, like, we're about to do Song of the Week, like Jordan, you just mentioned, like, you have certain types of feelings about the weather right now. Like, is that impacting your listening habits? Like, do you find yourself like in a different mood, because of how shitty the weather is?
Yeah, for me personally, I listen to more hardcore hip hop when the weather's shitty.
Yeah.
Because it makes me feel, I don't know, it makes me feel a little bit more grungy than I really am. Like, as someone who came from whatever the opposite of the gutter is, that's where I'm from. But I don't know, man. Yeah, I see Bill over there flexing. Like, there's a different mindset that you have to have when the weather's shitty. And here, seasonal depression is real, bro. Like, you'll have stretches. Part of what made me so happy last week was I hadn't seen the sun in what felt like 6 weeks. And so when you don't see the sun, you don't get that vitamin D, those UV rays. Bro, there's a lot of yeah, exactly. There's man, like for me, and not as much anymore, but like those used to be my Rick Ross days. You know what I mean? Like that, these niggas can't hold me back. There was a lot of that during that time of year. Man, probably like a lot of Jay-Z, like a lot of New York hip hop, I feel like, right? So a lot of Jay-Z, a lot of Nasty Nas, a lot of 50 Cent, like a lot of that stuff in this time of year for me. That's not where I'm going for Song of the Week, but in general, like usually kind of grimy underground hip hop when the weather's shit.
I mean, I don't know, because, I'm kind of weirdo. I listen to slow oldies when I'm lifting, so I'm a psychopath. So I'll swing for any reason, right? Because I'm listening to fucking Confunction while I'm doing pull-ups, right? I don't know. It never hits me. You just kind of listen to what you listen to. But I would agree that high stress or uncomfortable physical or emotional states make you want to channel, or at least make me want to channel, the most aspirational form of music, which usually is hip hop. For all the negative connotations hip hop and rap gets, nothing makes you feel bigger than, larger than life than a verse about a lyrical genius saying, "I'm larger than life and you should feel that way too." And you go, it's like Dave Chappelle, you know what? He's right. You should feel that way. So I'd say hip hop generally, but I'm me boys. I'm listening to what the fuck all the time. So as long as it lifts the mood, I guess that's the cure. Like,
oldies lifting
man,
is
I'm an old
is a
man in a
vibe,
young
bro.
man's body.
I knew you did that. Yeah. But that's a vibe. And Jordan, what you were saying is funny because like Bill, this comment about the Infamous. I know he and I have talked about this before, but like growing up in LA, where you don't have winter in the same way that the rest of the country does, or a lot of the other country does. 100%, Jordan. I have the same inclination where I like romanticize rapping in the cold, right? From like music videos of like Jay-Z and Big L and all, exactly what you said, Jordan, like the New York hip hop scene, especially like, and that's not just New York, right? Like Black Thought, Philly, like you have other of those like lyrical dudes on the corner spitting bars. You could see the breath coming out of their mouth. Like Biggie, we're talking about New York legends like Biggie, like all those types of guys and gals come to mind for me. So I was curious if you guys had a similar track.
As soon as you asked that question, bro, like in my head, I started going one time for your mind, one time. Like, so, that because that album feels like Nas recorded that, like just shooting dice on the corner, like in between dice games, he was recording that album. So, you know what I mean? Like that's the type of music that I'm trying to listen to this time of year where I'm trying to like, man, you have to like really, at least for me, I don't know about Bill, like, but for me, you really have to psych yourself out of the shit that you're walking out to every day. Like for me, I have to like really take myself to a place to be productive and have a good day and get to the gym and be productive at work and like be a functional, member of society. And I look outside and there's 6 inches of snow on top of my car. Like I got to put myself in a different mind state. And so, yeah, again, like New York state of mind comes to mind when you ask that question of like, bro, I got to get through the day and like I got to be a little bit grimy to do it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of when I think about what type of music to listen to this time of year.
So I guess I'm the only one who does pull-ups and pushes weights to fucking Boogie Wonderland by Earth, Wind & Fire. Cool. Heard. PYT extended mix with PYT with extended fucking vocals from Mike Jack for 9 minutes while I'm in the middle of doing Tyson push-ups.
I'm just picturing you, Bill. I'm picturing you on like minute 7 of a plank as like what's going on is just like blaring out the speakers. Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm the weird one.
I'll lift to gospel every once in a while. Like I can get a little like Kirk Franklin stomp while I'm on the bench press. I can get that going sometimes.
God. The devil's trying to literally weigh you down. The devil's literally weighing you down, Jordan.
That's right. Get it off some
there's some Mary that I can listen to in the weight room. I could definitely do some Hezekiah Walker in the weight room, but I've got to be in it. Like I can't start the workout with that. That's got to be like right in the middle.
Demons on your chest, and you got to get them off.
Yeah. Get them off. I wish I could contribute to this conversation, but that would require me entering the weight room.
For some reason, I thought you were going to say entering church. I was about to say.
That's where I thought he was going with it too.
I don't know. The last time I entered a church, I don't know the last time I entered a church. It was probably for somebody's wedding or a
would
christening
require me going
point,
into the Lord's house and
That's right. Nothing against.
Into the house of the Lord.
That's right. This is church. This is my church. I'll put it that way. This is my weekly, offering and all that. But before we dive into song of the week, I wanted to do a follow up. Jordan, last time you and I recorded, we talked about Heated Rivalry, which I was about to start watching with my wife. Yeah, Bill. Yeah, you miss a couple episodes.
I disappear for 4
and
weeks.
Things happen when you're not here. Yeah, hey, listen, culture keeps moving.
For the first time, I'm not ahead of it. This is
Get with
crazy.
the time. Yeah, for real. And yeah, we talked. Jordan. I enjoyed our chat, and I was like interested in what it was gonna, the experience, and finished the season with my wife, and it's a very interesting show. It's worthwhile, I would say, in checking out if you're interested in it. It's definitely not for everybody. It's there's a lot of like graphic sexual content in the show. So if you're not into that, definitely steer clear, because it's definitely a big part of it. It's being adapted from kind of like a romance novel background. So there's a lot of that. But like I said, Jordan, when we talked about it beforehand, it does what I said I thought it would do, which is it provides a really cool, huge platform to showcase not only an interesting relationship that develops, but really supportive pillars in the community around that relationship. And by that, I mean like the parents and girlfriends and supporting characters in the show they all model what I would say is like a really healthy, awesome version of being an ally, right? Which, like, in today's day and age, we should take that wherever we can get it. And this show does a really good job of doing that. In addition to some fun acting performances, and I thought it was a well done show. So yeah, I would say if anyone has any interest in it, worth checking out for sure. And shout out to my wife and all of her friends who have been talking about this for a long time now. And that's the reason I ended up checking it out in the first place.
You had me at graphic sex.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Well, that was easy. I should sell you more shows, Bill. That was really easy. Yes. Yeah. All right. Now that I have your attention, yeah. That's funny. Jordan, what were you gonna say?
No, that's great. No, I was just saying that's great. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm still in the middle of the pit. They actually just got they just announced that they've been renewed for a third season. Just to go back to Heated Rivalry, I've had a lot of conversations about it in the days since you and I last recorded, and it's interesting. It's cool that we're in a place in the world now where dialogue about this stuff is so much more open, and like people are willing to learn and hear different like perspectives from others. Like I was in a situation, I was just having a conversation with somebody today actually that actually led to us talking about this show. I was in a situation recently where I totally by accident misgendered somebody. This is a person that used they them pronouns, and I and it total accident. And I messed up, and the situation, it didn't become a big deal. The situation corrected itself kind of organically. But I was having a conversation with somebody today about like that's a place where I struggle. Like the pronouns is something that's still very new for me, and something that I still have to work on. And anytime I mess it up, it's totally by accident, right? It's never intentional. There's never any malice on my part. And just, going off of what you said last week about that show, like it's good that these shows exist now where there's a platform for stories about people like that to be told. Because, they're people, man. Like, and we used to live in a world where it was so demonized, and I'm glad that we don't live in that world anymore. And I'm glad that a show like that has gotten such a big platform. So bravo for you for checking it out and giving us your thoughts and opinions. I will get to it eventually, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
Well, and if you need a reason to get to it beyond that, Jordan, that was lovely. Graphic sex, Bill, you got it.
I heard
right?
sex
Like,
sells.
if that is your thing, there's plenty of that in Heated Rivalry. But I think there's other things in addition to that.
I heard sex
that are
sells.
worth checking out. So yeah, thanks Yeah,
Oldest
sex has been
profession.
selling for I think as long as people have been selling things. Yeah. So anyway, with that, let's get into song of the week. That's what we're here for. After all, we're going to talk about some music on our music channel. So who wants to start us off this week? Who wants to take that lead off?
I'll
As we
start.
like
My
to
song of
say.
the week is off the new Baby Keem album, Casino, which came out last week at the time of this recording. Put together a pretty cool project. I'm going to put my spotlights on House Money with Kendrick Lamar on the hook. This song is like the right amount of having your face screwed up and walking with way too much swagger. And the embodiment of Kendrick's hook, walk up in the party, I don't fear nobody, is like the first two lines of the hook. And you're just like in the headspace that I am unfuckwittable. And then Baby Keem is just like rapping his ass off. And the atmosphere of the music is so decadent. It's like, it's dark and it's booming with some of these pianos, but then you've got these high pitched vocals that eventually ring out, and you've got that signature kind of droning zombie like vocals for Kendrick and his hook. And Keem is really snapping, man. Like he's deliberate as usual. He's focused with his content and his lyricism, and it is just like the right amount of aggression, but the right amount of swing. And man, when he plays that live, I imagine it's going to blow the roof off whatever venue he's at. And hopefully I get a chance to see him live. But man, that song is really great. That's the song I've been spinning most off the new album, Casino, released last week at the time of this recording, Baby Keem. I don't know. I'm interested to see where his career goes, but he's pretty dynamic, especially with how he layers his production. He feels a little bit more producer than rapper. If we had to do like the percentage split, I think he's still finding in some cases some of his lyrical ability and really diving deep. I would be willing to bet that he listened to Section 80 a handful of times during the recording of this album based on how he rapped on the following song, I'm Not a Lyricist. It sounds very much like Young Kendrick and Young Ab-Soul. But this song, House Money in particular, is just like a standout for me. There's a lot of cool songs on this. Casino, Good Flirts. I'm Not a Lyricist. Circus Circus Freestyle is one that I think I like as well. But another cool project out of Baby Keem. He's really got a lot of momentum. Hopefully he keeps it going. So, House Money, great song. Go listen to it. And then swing on somebody when you listen to it because you'll feel invincible.
Yeah, good choice. He's got a knack for that, doesn't he? He's got a knack for that booming, like arena friendly, let's go fight somebody
Yeah,
type
to a degree,
sound,
yeah.
which like like Family Ties, as
Yep.
like the really famous example, but like clips of Family Ties making arenas go crazy around the world. I mean, literally around the world. There's dozens of them out there, and I think it's a great shout on the new album. Great song, and has
Yeah,
has a
man.
lot of that energy to it. Yeah, it's a good one. I think there might be a fries at the bottom or some other type of maybe you can't rap better than or some further analysis of the Keem album for sure. I'm only one or two listens into it right now, so I need a little more time with it. But he's a very cool guy, very cool artist, very interesting influences. I think a lot to talk about there for sure.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Yeah.
start doing album
Uh,
discussions. Maybe not reviews in the traditional sense, but like discussions.
yeah, yeah. I don't want
Yeah,
to
it's not
rate an
really our MO.
album or like give it a. Yeah, it's not
No,
like one thing, but just talking more about like what the stuff you're talking about, those types of like developments in
artistic
his career
choices.
and the things that are out of what choices he's making, focusing on. I think that's interesting. Good choice, Bill. Jordan, you want to go next, or you want me to go next?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can go.
All right.
So again, just love it when people send me music. Recently have just been having some fun conversations with a friend of mine, and the other day we got into this really deep what type of music are you into conversation. And this lasted for hours. Like us just sending songs back and forth to each other throughout the night, which was really fun. I love having conversations like that, and I love building up my catalog. And so this friend got me on to this group called They. They're like an R&B duo. I think they're based out of LA, but they're really good. They've got like they went on tour with Bryson Tiller, and it makes sense that they did that because they have a style that reminds me a little bit of Tiller, but they're also unique and they have their own thing going on. So the artist's name is They, and then the song is Diamonds and Pearls off of their album Love Jones. Man, it's just I got another banger for my R&B junkies. If the R&B junkies haven't heard this one already, you should definitely check this out. This song to me, people say like it's a vibe, but well, what does that mean? To me, it's like a summertime kickback party type of vibe. It's the type of song that you play at a large gathering, whether it be a kickback, whether it be a pool party, graduation party, those type of vibes. I really enjoy. I think this song will play perfect in that type of setting. I also think it's like a good kind of summertime outside sunset type song. It just has a good flow. It's real smooth. And I like their album, man. This album, Love Jones, came out in 2025. Really good R&B album. It's like a 25-minute listen. So if you haven't bumped it already, give it a ride. But yeah, my song of the week, Diamonds and Pearls by They.
A summer kickback vibe. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I love that.
At all. That's always a good time. That's my favorite time. I'm over here bitching about the snow. That's my favorite time of the year. Like we need to get to that ASAP.
So you said, you didn't go hardcore hip hop like you said about the weather, but you did listen to some music that helped you, get out of the winter blues a little bit.
For sure. Yeah, last week I was J5. Again, though, I as soon as the sun came out, I threw some J5 on. Like the minute the sun peeked through the clouds and hit my shoulders, I instantly went to J5. This week, I was looking for some music. I had this really interesting conversation with this friend of mine. They literally sent me like 100 different songs, and I went back through and I tried to pick my favorite one, and it was They, Diamonds and Pearls.
I love it. Well, to round us out, my song of the week this week, I'm going to cheat because I'm going to do a cover, which is going to allow me to talk about the cover version and the original song, because I think it's really one of the coolest things I've listened to in a little while. My song of the week is a cover of the song "Thinking About You" by Frank Ocean, done by Flea, who, if you don't know him, is the bassist from Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is a band that I've talked about a lot, I think, on this channel as a Southern California native. Flea is a really interesting, incredibly talented, and innovative musician, especially a bassist, but I think musician. And this song is a really great example of that. This cover does the really hard thing that covers often fail to do, I think, which is it captures the spirit of the source material, but also creates something truly unique and different from what the original song was. And Flea kind of achieves that by, first of all, making the song an instrumental only. So the lyrics kind of get taken out of what is really a core part of, Frank Ocean's original song. So you're just left with the music. And he complicates it in a good way by making it like an orchestration where Flea is playing the bass, the electric bass, and the trumpet, hence the musician call. He really is a talented person. He's on the trumpet, he's on the bass. He has vocal orchestration going on. He has an upright bass complementing his electric bass. And it feels like a rendition, a cover that's done with the utmost like care and respect for what the source material was. It's delicate in all the right ways. And I think the original song in Channel Orange as an album is an example of like human delicacy being played out, through the course of a person's point of view. And Flea and the musicians that he works with on this are able to capture that in just such a beautiful way and kind of breathe new life into a song that is timeless, which is, again, a very hard thing to do. And so it struck me really, like I listened to it, I saw an article about it, I listened to it and I like made time in my day later in the day to make sure I could go back and re-listen to it because it had an impact on me. Great original song, one of my favorite albums ever made, and one of my favorite musicians ever. Kind of taking a spin at that. How could I not make "Thinking About You" by Flea my song of the week this
Dave,
week?
you should consider making a project about your time developing photos, listening to Frank Ocean. You should consider making a project about all those emotions and blending some of those sounds. I think that would be because it's such a foundational experience that you talk about from time to time. I think that would be really slick if you tried to capture it in 6 to 8 to 10 songs. You should marinate on that for a while.
It's a great idea.
Because the best albums come from
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's a great
singularity,
idea.
right? The singular events, the singular year. Like, I'm not going to say call it like the Red Room or like the development room or whatever, but I think that would be an incredible
Sure.
motif just to hear you going back in time and being like, I'm developing photos while listening to this album 3 times through, multiple times a week. You know what I mean?
I did. That's yeah. For those, you're right, Bill. I've definitely talked about that at some point on the channel. But yeah, part of why Channel Orange is so meaningful to me is exactly what Bill said. I took a photography class my senior year at the college we went to, and yeah, I was in that dark room a lot, several hours. Jordan can attest. I was leaving our room and coming back a lot, and I would listen to Channel Orange on repeat. I mean, truly, like 3 or 4 times, just all the way through, finishes, started back at the beginning, and, um, you're right, formative for sure, in my development as a person and a creative person and everything else. So, yeah, good shout, Bill.
Bro, if we were ever to do a video or, a fries at the bottom, whatever we want to call it, just like talking about an album, we should start with Channel Orange.
There's a lot to dive in on that album, and
Great
I think
album.
it's a super, as Bill would say, um, and I think it's, yeah, it's a good the song of the week, Flea covering it is a good example of that because it's the music of that album holds up even if you take away the lyrics, which to me are probably the most interesting part of the album because there's so much going on. The music alone stands up, like it's so powerful and like guttural almost, it's amazing.
Bro, did you see, and I wasn't going to bring this up. I like contemplated it and then I decided I wasn't, but this came up naturally, so now I'm going to say it. Did you see that Mal from Rory and Mal said that Brent Faiyaz, like we can do without Frank Ocean now that we have Brent Faiyaz?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy,
It's ridiculous.
crazy thing
It's
to say.
ridiculous.
That's a crazy thing to say, in my opinion.
Ridiculous.
I hadn't heard that. Look, hating on Frank Ocean or not appreciating Frank Ocean and his contributions and what he's done and his abilities, it's a character flaw. You're telling on yourself more than anything else, my opinion.
And I get it. He's only got 2 albums, but come on, man.
What a biggie, I mean, like, what are we talking about? Like, like we said this the other week, Jordan. Lauryn Hill made one unbelievable all-time album. Do people say she's not isn't deserving of her flowers and her place in music history? No, of course not, because she
I
does.
would rather make
Just like Frank
two
does. That's
superb,
crazy.
culturally relevant, quote unquote, timeless albums than 8 pretty good albums. You know what I mean? That's just me. That's just me.
Come on.
Amen.
Like,
Come on.
D'Angelo
Not to
made
say
3
nothing of
over
the
30
fact
years.
that
Like, what do we?
yeah, D'Angelo's another really good example. Yes, exactly. Is Daniel Day-Lewis a bad actor because he only does, select roles every few years? No, he's like one of the best. I mean, like,
There's
countless
no
reasons
right
why
way
that's a
to do
terrible
it.
take,
There's
in my
no
opinion.
wrong way to do it. The wrong way to do it is to just do it for the sake of, even though I just contradicted myself and said there's no wrong way to do it. The right people, my wisdom is fucking infinite. I can't help it. The right way to do it is to do it with intention and care. And when it comes out, it comes out. Because there's no guarantees in this bullshit anyway. There's no guarantee. There were no guarantees that Channel Orange and Blonde would become pivotal albums of the 2000s for millions of people. You know what I mean? But he was making shit. I know like Nostalgia Ultra counts too, but like he was making stuff for the sake of making stuff. He was making hundreds of songs and sort of releasing them and sort of not to develop and sharpen his skills.
With his
Yeah.
friends. With his friends.
Rent a
By the
supercar
way.
for a day.
Like, not just making stuff right, exactly. God, Oldie's a great song, but like being in a creative, this ties into what we do, what anything creative does. It's getting reps, but it's getting reps with people who care about you, people who want to see you get better, people who are going to push you to get better. And that's what Frank did. And not just Frank, Earl and Tyler and lots of other people who come from collectives or artistic groups that, help flourish that. Not by accident, it doesn't happen by accident. Talent gets developed.
The engagement
Amen.
is the point, people. The
Amen.
offering is the point. You know what I mean? Like you make these things, you put seeds in soil, and then you give them the attention it requires. Some plants grow faster than others, but the offering deserves undivided attention and total self-involvement if you're going to make something, regardless of if it's 5 minutes a day, 50 minutes a day, 5 hours a day. There is no right answer to this. The wrong answer is to not do it, but the right answer is to do it with full enthusiasm, purpose, and intention to the best of your ability that you are able to bring that day. If you got 20%, fuck, bring the 20. If you got 100, it's rare that people do day after day, bring the 100. But regardless of what the offering ends up being molded into, you put it out and then you live with it, knowing that there's a piece of you that is allowed to flourish, because creativity is like the last form of rebellion. You know what I mean? So do that. Do that. And I'm like preaching it, but I'm also practicing it because nobody gives a shit about what I've made up to this point. It could change on a dime, but we do it. The engagement is the point. The offering is the point. You know what I mean?
Even more important to believe and say and live when you don't have the clout yet, or you don't have the tangible signs of success. It's like, yeah, if you actually believe that and live it, that stuff comes with it. It'll come with time.
Bill, sometimes I wonder which one of us is the preacher's kid on here, because you're spitting, brother. You're spitting. I love it. No, yeah, I mean you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It's all about the it's all about the energy that you bring into the universe.
Look, there's a time, like, that's an amazing thing when people get their Lifetime Achievement Awards or their 6 Grammys, and then holding the trophy as the winner, look out around the crowd and say, you all are the winners because you were here, in this room. I got the trophy. I fucking won. You know what I mean? Like, I hear you, and the sentiment can be true, but it's a little bit different if you're some anonymous dude on the internet being like, hold on. Every day at least one page gets written. You know what I mean? It's not glamorous. It's not sexy. It's part of my meditative practices to get the shit out of my system. These are the offerings, man. And 99% of them will never be seen or heard by the world. But shoot, are you who you say you are? Then do what you say you do, regardless of attention, accolade, whatever money might come with it. Hopefully money does. Hopefully whatever you're trying to get out of it does. Hopefully you heal, But fuck. I'd rather say it as an anonymous guy on the internet than holding 10 Grammys in the aftermath of success being like, just believe in yourself. Both are valid, but one has a lot of shiny gold next to it, so it can kind of contort the view, at least by my estimation. I'm just rambling at this point. Boys, take me out. If somebody grab the cane, yank me off stage, get us out of here.
Hey, that's why we don't trip when Bill can't make it on every week, because Bill comes in hot when he comes on. So it's all love, brother.
Brings the heat.
Brings that heat.
For better or for
brings
worse.
that heat.
Drop your negative comments in the fucking
for better
video.
or
Let
for
me
worse.
have it, I can take it. Pause.
Oh man. All right, I'll close with this. Man, I feel like over the last several months, maybe even years, I've had countless conversations with friends, colleagues, whatever it may be, about like living life, doing what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. I know tons of people that feel like they're in these situations where they're constantly showing up to jobs that they don't enjoy, doing things that they're not passionate about, because those are the things that we have to do to live sometimes we have to do that to make enough money to put food on the table, because doing things that you're passionate about is important, but you still got to eat. Like, you still have to be able to get around. You still have to be able to make enough money to enjoy life. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing what you got to do. But I just want to remind people, man, do what you got to do so you can do what you want to do. Don't invest all of your time into something that's not going to give it back to you. Don't invest all of your time into a corporation that ultimately like views you as something that's replaceable or someone that's replaceable. Just man, just remember to take time for yourself and to put time and energy into the things that matter to you. And kind of just to keep harping on what we've been saying, like just keep going. Eventually you'll get your break. Eventually something will work for you and things will turn. You got the 3-man weave today. Jordan, Dave, Bill, K Love, Chris Bosch, LBJ. We're out of here. Peace.